Chapter 12. The Chameleon, e.g. Rihanna, Gaga, Doja Cat, the artist who refuses one image. The chameleon is the artist whose visual identity is built on transformation. Where the minimal icon becomes powerful through repetition, the chameleon becomes powerful through range. Their brand is not a fixed look, color, haircut, silhouette, or costume code. Their brand is the ability to change without losing recognition. This is one of the most important archetypes in modern music because contemporary platforms reward constant renewal. Streaming favors frequent releases. Social media favors novelty. Fashion rewards reinvention. Festivals demand spectacle. Editorial media wants a new era. The chameleon is designed for this environment. At first glance, this archetype can seem chaotic. One month the artist appears futuristic, metallic, and severe. The next, romantic and soft. Then grotesque, comic, hypersexual, cartoonish, spiritual, nostalgic, or luxurious. But successful chameleons are not simply inconsistent. They are not dressing randomly. They operate through controlled mutation. Their visual system is not one image. It is a method. The chameleon's identity is built on the promise that each new appearance will reveal another facet of the same central personality. Reinvention becomes the product. Surprise becomes the signature. The core principle: change as continuity. For most artists, consistency means repeating recognizable elements. The same hairstyle, the same color palette, the same styling language, the same photographic tone. For the chameleon, consistency works differently. The constant is not the surface. The constant is the attitude. Lady Gaga can move from avant-garde sculpture to Hollywood glamour because her constant is theatrical authorship. Rihanna can move from island sensuality to streetwear dominance to couture pregnancy imagery because her constant is command. Doja Cat can shift from meme absurdity to alien beauty to high fashion provocation because her constant is mischievous control. The chameleon's audience does not ask, "What does this artist look like?" They ask, "What will this artist become next?" That question is the engine of the archetype. The danger is that change without a center becomes confusion. If every era feels unrelated, the artist loses symbolic value. But when transformation is anchored in a recognizable personality, the audience reads each shift as evolution rather than contradiction. This is why the chameleon requires one of the strongest internal identity systems of all archetypes. The outside may change dramatically, but the inner logic must remain legible. Rihanna, the chameleon as taste authority. Rihanna is one of the clearest modern examples of the chameleon as taste authority. Her image has moved through pop star, rebel, fashion insider, luxury entrepreneur, beauty founder, and cultural icon without appearing fragmented. The key to Rihanna's visual power is that she rarely looks like she is asking for approval. Whether styled in oversized streetwear, crystal couture, lingerie, denim, fur, leather, or minimal maternity silhouettes, she projects ownership. The clothes do not wear her. She absorbs them into her own atmosphere. This is an essential chameleon lesson. Transformation works best when the performer's posture, gaze, and attitude remain dominant. Rihanna's image changes, but her body language is stable. She often communicates ease, distance, sensuality, and authority. Her visual identity is not built around perfection. It is built around confidence so complete that it makes each experiment feel inevitable. Her use of fashion also demonstrates how the chameleon can scale beyond music. Rihanna's image helped create credibility in beauty and apparel because her public style already functioned like a living mood board. She did not need to explain her authority in fashion, she had performed it for years. For artists, this is a major strategic point. A chameleon can become commercially powerful because the audience accepts them as a curator of taste. If the artist has trained the public to expect transformation, then new categories, fashion, beauty, design, film, performance, feel like natural expansions rather than brand extensions. Lady Gaga, the chameleon as theater. Lady Gaga's chameleon system is more overtly theatrical. Her transformations are often built as eras with strong conceptual architecture. Monstrous glamour, religious imagery, celebrity critique, cyberpop futurism, jazz classicism, cinema elegance, and high fashion extremity. Gaga's early lesson to modern music was that an artist could use visual identity not as decoration, but as narrative infrastructure. The outfit was not separate from the song. The silhouette was not separate from the persona. The video, stage, interview, red carpet, and fan community all became part of one performance system. Her chameleon identity works because she treats clothing as language. A meat dress, a sculptural shoulder, a blonde wig, a platform boot, a latex bodysuit, or a classic gown are not merely styling choices. They are statements about fame, body, power, artifice, and vulnerability. Unlike artists who shift image mainly to stay fashionable, Gaga's transformations often feel argument-driven. Each visual move asks the audience to interpret. This gives her chameleon identity intellectual density. She is not only changing looks, she is changing frames. For contemporary artists, Gaga illustrates the importance of concept. A chameleon does not need every look to be extreme, but each transformation should have a reason. The audience should feel there is an idea behind the image, even if the idea is emotional rather than literal. The chameleon as internet mutation. Doja Cat represents a newer form of chameleon identity shaped by internet culture, meme logic, beauty experimentation, and high-speed platform circulation. Her image often moves faster and stranger than traditional pop reinvention. She can appear glamorous, alien, comedic, abrasive, hyperfeminine, shaved, painted, demonic, cartoonish, elegant, or deliberately awkward. This range reflects a digital environment where identity is constantly remixed. Doja's strength is that she understands the visual grammar of the feed. A look must not only function on stage or in a magazine spread. It must stop a scroll. It must become a screenshot. It must invite reaction, confusion, imitation, debate, or meme circulation. In this sense, the chameleon has evolved. Earlier pop reinventions often happened across album cycles. Now they can happen across a week, a live stream, an award show, a TikTok clip, and a Fashion Week appearance. The modern chameleon is not only era-based. Doja's identity also shows how provocation has become more playful and unstable. She does not always ask to be admired in a traditional beauty sense. Sometimes she asks to be decoded. Sometimes she asks to be laughed with. Sometimes she challenges the audience's desire for her to remain pretty, accessible, or predictable. This is a crucial dimension of the archetype. The chameleon often controls attention by disrupting expectation. Visual tools of the chameleon. The chameleon works through a wide vocabulary of design tools. The most important are silhouette, beauty transformation, concept styling, and contextual contrast. Silhouette is often the fastest way to signal a new identity. Oversized shapes, body-conscious forms, architectural shoulders, exposed skin, sculptural gowns, masculine tailoring, futuristic armor, or delicate romantic volume can completely change how an artist is read. Beauty is equally powerful. Hair color, wigs, shaved heads, brows, makeup structure, skin finish, nails, prosthetics, and facial adornment allow rapid transformation without requiring a total change in music. For chameleons, beauty is not secondary. It is one of the main identity engines. Color also plays a major role, though not always through consistency. A minimal icon may own one palette. A chameleon may move through many palettes but use color dramatically. Blood red for danger, chrome for futurism, black for severity, pastel for innocence, neon for digital chaos, white for purification or ceremony. Finally, context matters. The same artist can appear in streetwear on social media, couture on a red carpet, and theatrical costume on stage. The chameleon's skill is knowing how to make each context feel connected to the same larger persona. The chameleon across platforms. The chameleon is especially effective because it adapts naturally to different media environments. On streaming platforms, transformation appears through cover art, canvas loops, profile imagery, and era-specific visual packages. Each release can present a new face while still belonging to the artist's larger world. On social media, the chameleon can generate constant conversation. Every new look becomes content. Styling reveals, behind-the-scenes preparation, makeup transformations, Fashion Week appearances, and performance clips all feed the identity machine. On stage, the archetype becomes spectacle. Costume changes, set shifts, lighting palettes, dancers, props, and screen visuals allow the artist to physically embody transformation. A chameleon's concert often functions less like a single mood and more like a sequence of portals. In editorial and fashion spaces, the chameleon becomes highly valuable because they can carry many concepts. Magazines, brands, and designers are drawn to artists who can disappear into a vision while still bringing star power. The chameleon is not trapped by one look, which makes them adaptable collaborators. However, this adaptability requires discipline. If every platform shows a different version of the artist with no hierarchy, the public may struggle to understand the identity. Successful chameleons know which transformations are major era statements and which are smaller experiments. Risks of the archetype. The chameleon has significant advantages, but it also carries risks. The first risk is exhaustion. Constant reinvention demands time, money, styling infrastructure, creative direction, and emotional energy. Not every artist can sustain it. Without resources, the chameleon can begin to look improvised rather than visionary. The second risk is loss of recognition. If an artist changes too much too quickly, the audience may not know what to attach to. A recognizable voice, attitude, symbol, gesture, or storytelling pattern must remain stable. The third risk is trend dependence. Some chameleons mistake trend adoption for transformation. They simply wear whatever is currently fashionable. This weakens authority. The best chameleons do not chase trends, they metabolize them. They make trends feel like part of their own mythology. The fourth risk is emotional distance. If every appearance is a costume, the audience may begin to wonder where the person is. For this reason, many chameleons need moments of intimacy, stripped-down performances, candid interviews, personal songwriting, documentary fragments, or minimal visuals that reveal the human beneath the transformation. Building a chameleon system. For creators who want to use this archetype, the first step is not choosing many looks. It is defining the core personality that survives all looks. Ask, what remains true no matter what I wear? Am I playful, regal, dangerous, sensual, intellectual, chaotic, romantic, alien, rebellious, spiritual, comic, or severe? Then define transformation zones. These are the areas where change is allowed. Hair may change constantly, while posture remains stable. Color may shift by era, while silhouette remains recognizable. Fashion may range widely, while makeup always carries a signature. The chameleon needs freedom, but not total randomness. Next, build era logic. Each project should have a visual thesis. What world does this music live in? What materials belong to it? What colors? What body shapes? What historical references? What emotional temperature? Finally, create anchor points. These may be a vocal tone, a logo, a recurring symbol, a gesture, a type of gaze, a preferred camera angle, a lyrical obsession, or a performance habit. The audience needs something to recognize beneath the transformations. The chameleon is not an artist without identity. The chameleon is an artist with an identity strong enough to survive mutation. The strategic tower of reinvention. Visibility is unstable. The feed moves quickly. Audiences are fragmented. Trends collapse and reappear. In this environment, the chameleon has a unique advantage. They can renew attention without abandoning themselves. This archetype turns image into event. A haircut becomes a headline. A costume becomes a discourse. An album cover becomes a portal. A red carpet appearance becomes a chapter in the artist's mythology. Rihanna shows how the chameleon can become a taste institution. Gaga shows how transformation can become theater and philosophy. Doja Cat shows how mutation can be optimized for the internet's speed, humor, and appetite for disruption. The chameleon succeeds when change is not used to hide uncertainty, but to express abundance. The message is not, I do not know who I am. The message is, I contain more than one version. For the modern artist, that may be one of the most powerful identities of all.